Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, August 7th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open up in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a few things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks like we are good to go here. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And then I'll start marking up liquidity here. Link is sent out. All right, perfect. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Daily chart. Going down to the 8-hour. Down to the 4-hour. Down to the 2-hour. Going down to the 1-hour. Going down to the 15-minute. Going down to the 10-minute. Back down to the 1. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, so I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity above, there's a bunch of liquidity on both sides. We have the closest level of liquidity above at 39,479. There's a bunch of levels up here, so if it pushes up any higher, it's probably going to get hit pre-market. And then we have the closest level of liquidity down below at 39,430. Looking at the current price volatility and price movement, looks like the market might be back to normal. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change my TP stop losses back to our usual 15-15 just for now. I mean, the market looks like it's back to normal. It's not looking like it's going to move super crazy. Hopefully. I mean, if it moves crazy, that's fine too. We could still go back to our 30-30s, but I'm going to go back to mine. 15-15s for now. There's no news today, really. There's gas stock change at 7:30. That's the only thing that's really happening today that, typically affects the market. Otherwise, so we might be back to our normal market conditions here, which I'm glad. I'm tired of that crazy volatility. So looking over here at the news calendar, we had some news at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock was low impact news. I will mark that up for you guys here. not really going to label it because there's not really high impact news today. We'll just know that it's, for the most part, low impact. So we got that there, 6 o'clock. And we have some gas stock change over here at 7:30. There we go. All right, so it looks like we're back to our normal summer market conditions. Slow candles here per usual. We got market opening up in about 3 minutes. If you guys are just joining, closest level of liquidity above is at 39,479, and the closest level below is at 39,430. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, David. Looks like we are good to go, guys. So about half of you guys are here so far. Looks like a lot of people are just making it in late, which is fine. Volatility here is starting to pick up again. See if I spoke too soon. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the ATR. Morning, CJ. And we will see where this goes. So we got price kind of bouncing around right now. ATR is currently at 13. It's not at like how it was before at 40, 50, 80, around there. Yeah, if it stays below 30, then that's kind of normal ATR. Hey, Jason, morning. Morning, Max. Morning, Johnny. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is about to open up in about a minute. Let's see, this candle right here pushed not a crazy amount, about 20 points. Jason said, what I'm hearing about cash is true. What do you mean, Jason? What do you hear about cash? No, there's no crash. Don't listen to everybody that you hear on social media. I noticed that more recently, everybody thinks they know about trading. Everybody thinks they know about finance. There's no market crash. There's a pullback, there's a retracement, but there's no crash happening. If you look on the daily chart, price just pulled back a little bit. There's no crash happening. So don't listen to everything you guys hear on social media. A lot of BS being spewed out there. All right, guys, so market is now open. ATR is currently at 19. Let's see if it picks back up. I'll move my TP stop loss back to 30.30, but as of now, I'll leave it as is at 15.15. All right, we got market open. So price is below the pivots right now. It's currently bearish. You can see prices below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. Divergence here is bearish. If the volatility picks back up, I mean, the volatility is kind of like mixed right now, but if it picks back up, of course, I will adjust my TP stop loss to something higher, but as of now, I'll just keep it as is, 15.15. Just for now. So we got some pretty crazy candle movement right here. Liquidity down below just got hit. So if you took any of these levels of liquidity that I marked up, first level here, full TP, second level, full TP, third level, full TP. Next level of liquidity down there also getting hit, full TP again right there. So if you guys are catching these liquidity pushes, they're blasting right through them. So these blue lines here, as you guys know, are liquidity. And we'll see if the market continues to move this way. If it continues to spike around, try to take advantage of the retracement and correction back down. Otherwise, we will just let the market do what it needs to do, and then we'll get in when our opportunity arises. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a sharp retracement up and a continuation back down. The only problem with this here is that we're getting some big wicks. So there might be some market manipulation around this area. The closest target or the next target is going to be the liquidity level down here. So if price continues to drop, that is going to be the next level of target right there. So here it goes, price swings back up. ATR is currently at 26. So if ATR stays below 30, I think it's going to be normal price movement. If it goes above 30 or closer to like 40, then in that situation, I think the volatility is still pretty high. It looks like today is going to be more of a normal day compared to yesterday and Monday. Yesterday and Monday, the ATR was up to like 80 points. So you can tell that it was way different. There's a levels entry right here that just hit full TP if anybody is looking for that. Price broke below the level, came back up, shot back down. That was a levels entry right there. There's a market flow type setup right here off the levels. For me personally, I like when price pulls back to the pivots and comes back down. So I'm not taking that right there as a market flow entry, waiting for price to actually pull back a little bit further to retrace to the pivots and come back down. Hey, Steven, morning. All right. So we got price coming up a little bit right here. If price swings back down, this could be the possible market flow entry at 345. It's probably not going to come down, but I'll watch. It's about 42 seconds left on this candle. It's got a long time. So what I'll do is I'll put a pending order right there. If this doesn't come down and fill, I just cancel it. It's got about 20 seconds left on it right there. So we got 15 seconds left. We got about 10 seconds left. I'm probably going to cancel this order pretty soon. It's not looking like it's going to fill. And I'm now going to cancel it.
Order canceled.
Possible market flow entry right here. Oh, fuck, I got in too late. I got in like way too late on this right here. I might get stopped out on this one. Yeah, it's all good. Fuck me. I was trying to put a pending order and then I accidentally clicked market
Order filled.
and it ended up stopping me out. It's all good. That was my mistake right there. Yeah. It's a problem with setting the pending orders because I misclicked it. It was like right next to the previous. Here, let me see if I can put another pending order right here, just in case it comes back down. Never mind. I don't think anybody got into that with me. But that was a mistake. Let's see if I'm not going to put a pending order here. It's too late. All right, I'm gonna wait for the next one here. So let's see what we got over here. Price is kind of going back and forth. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to come back down, swing back up, come back down right here. Unfortunately on this one, guys, as you guys can see, I got caught in, I mean, it would have hit TP if I got in at the proper price point because it came down to swing to TP, but I accidentally clicked market instead of the pending order. And I got in like super late, like way down here, like literally at the bottom. And I didn't get it when I was supposed to get in. So it's kind of tough when this volatility is all over the place. We got about 20 seconds left here. On this candle, we'll see if price swings back up. If price swings back up, that's fine. Preferably, I'd rather take buys here anyways, but if price stays down here, I also don't mind taking sells. But for the most part, I would prefer to take a buy here, of course. All right, let's see if we can get something here. See if price swings up and it swings back down. So there's a market flow entry that came up again right there. It happened too quickly. I wasn't able to get into it. It didn't actually pull up and swing down to the, it didn't pull it far enough to hit the pivot and then come back down, at least not yet. When it pulls down, it does touch the pivot, but it didn't necessarily come up and touch the pivot and come right back down. So you can see right there, it's bouncing back and forth, but there's no actual market flow entry right there, at least not yet. So what I want to see here is I want price to come down a little bit further, come up and then come back down. Then I'll look to take my market flow entry from that lower point. All right, so there might be a market flow right here on the next entry. Yeah, the market's super erratic right now, just like Drew just mentioned. I missed it again. Let me see. I gotta wait for the price to swing back up. That's 79 actually. Yeah, this thing's a little too erratic right here. The entry on this. 81. I'm gonna let it push up. I needed to push up a little more. Yeah, it's a little too erratic right here. I couldn't even get into that if I wanted to, because every time I tried to put a pending order, the thing kept swinging back and forth at the entry point. So I'm gonna wait a little bit for price to kind of choose its direction, and then I'll start looking for some entries here. Price is like way too erratic right now. There's no specific direction with price. Um, the ATR is actually pretty high again, like Rashida just mentioned. So I might have to make some adjustments to our TP stop loss back to 30-30. Yeah, the market is pretty heavy right now. So I think I will switch back to the 30-30 TP stop loss. Um, thanks, Rashid. I didn't realize that the ATR jumped so high. So I'm gonna watch the market here for a little bit. I'm gonna see how the volatility kind of moves around because it was just like one big candle right here, but everything else is still kind of small. So yeah, I'm actually gonna leave it as is right now, 15-15. I'm gonna see if the ATR holds or if it drops back down. All right, so there's still no direction here. There's pretty much just a really big range. So the range is between the 450 and the 300 down here. So I'll show you guys. So price is pretty much just ranging between the 450 and the 300 down here. That's where price is pretty much ranging back and forth between. It could even be the, no, it's not the front. It's got to be the 450 up here. All right, so we got price coming back down right here. I'm going to keep it at 15-15 for now, guys, because you guys can see that the volatility isn't really high. I mean, it's high on like specific candles. There might be like one or two candles here that are very high in volatility, but they don't hold. So you guys can see the ATR is currently at 33 right now, but these candles right here are all very small. There's only like two or three candles here that are really big, and then they go back to smaller candles. We're currently at opening price right here. So again, what I'm going to be looking for is for price to retrace back down slightly or pull back down slightly, retrace, and continue down further. I just need to have some sort of direction here. There's no direction in price. Price is currently within the range. We can still trade within the range. Just going to be a little tricky, with regard to not getting caught in fake outs because it's so easy to get in fake outs when you're trading within the range here. Let's see. Question from William. William's asking, "Hey Sean, hope everything is good. Do you think it's fine if I went from one contract NQ to MNQ just recently because volatility is a lot higher? I know Apex rule has a rule with that, just to be sure. I mean, you don't want to have a huge different contract size. You don't want to go from one contract on NQ to 10 contracts or like 20 contracts on MNQ. That's going to raise a red flag. So, I mean, if you know what contract size you're using, if you're staying within the parameters and you're following the rules, then you should be fine. But if you're going like from one contract on NQ and then going to like 100 contracts on MNQ, then you're definitely going to get denied. So don't do that. But if you're only changing the contract slightly, then yeah, it's not gonna make a big deal. Like I think you could have a variance of about 10 contracts but you can't go from like 10 to like one contract to 50 contracts. That's going to raise flags and they're most likely going to deny you. I know it's a weird rule, but that's the rule. They don't want you to be using crazy contracts. So basically, I mean, the rule of thumb is just is a consistency rule, right? You don't want to go 30% more than what you're already trading. So like, for example, if you're trading one contract, you don't want to go 30% higher than that. It's the same with the consistency rule with regard to profit. So the consistency rule applies to contract sizing as well. Yeah, I mean, you should be fine. If you're only going up to like 4, 5, 6 contracts on MNQ, it's not going to be a big deal. But I've seen people who have done that where it's like, why do you even go down to the micro? Like people will be trading 10 contracts on NQ and then they go to 100 contracts on MNQ. It's the same thing. I don't understand, like it doesn't make a difference. But that's usually where it becomes an issue. So you just stay within the 30% threshold and you should be fine. Yeah, I think people don't understand that too. They just don't understand that, going between NQ and MNQ, it's like times 10. So if you're like doing a one contract, if you're doing a 10 contract on MNQ, it's the same thing. So you might as well just stick to regular NQ. Yeah, but if you're doing like below that, you should be fine. So you should be good, William. I don't think you should have any problems with that. Yeah, because if you're doing 5 to 6 contracts, you're basically doing like half of one contract on the regular NQ. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, William said, yeah, people go crazy with 10 NQ, then switch to one MNQ to have the 10 days. Yeah, I agree. That's the why they created the rule because they don't want people to be doing stuff like that. It's they're just farming the days for the most part. All right, so this market is kind of tricky, guys. It's not like yesterday and Monday was actually okay because every candle was kind of big. The candles for today are a little more tricky because you have like all these small candles and then you have one huge candle right here, which is like 60 points. Like where does this even come from? And then you have a bunch of small candles for like 10, 20 points. So it's a little tricky right now with what we're dealing with, but we'll try to get across this. So bear with me, guys. The ATR is still staying pretty high. So if the ATR continues to stay very high, I'm going to have to change my TP stop loss. The 15.15 might be a little too tight. Also because the spread is still pretty heavy too. The spread's still pretty it's at 3 right now, so it's still pretty messy for the most part. It's kind of annoying. It's annoying because the spread it does play a big part in the trade. If your TP stop loss is too small, the spread's going to eat into it. The spread right now is currently at 3. So like if I have a 15 TP stop loss, I got to cover like 6-point spread basically in and out. So we'll see. I might just have to adjust back to 30-30. So we got price shifting to the upside. This could be a shift in trend to the upside for a bullish trend. Price is swinging above the pivots. The trend meter below is shifting to green. The divergence down below is also green. Yeah, we might get a shift. Price is currently stuck at the sessions, like CJ mentioned. See, the thing is, I don't want to adjust the TP stop loss too early, and then all of a sudden the market starts to get all flat again, and I'm stuck in a position holding a 30-point move. It's makes things a little more difficult. So here, I'm going to put these next to each other. I'm just going to put a 15-15 right next to a 30-30 so that we can kind of see the difference in price with regard to volatility. Because you guys can see this is a big difference, a 30-30 compared to a 15-15. Like we might have to hold on to that position for a little too long, like longer than we want to. If price pushes up higher, we have all this liquidity right here sitting. So we have a lot of targets right here for price to hit if and when it gets that far. We got price kind of just sitting right here at the sessions. All right, so you guys can see over here, I drew the range earlier, right? I told you guys where the resistance was. It went exactly there. So price went up to the resistance, faked out, pulled right back into the range. So the resistance and support are still at the same area. So we're currently in the same range between the 450 and the 300 right here. Nothing's changed. Price is just sitting around those areas. So you might get a drop back down over here. That's what it's looking like. If that's the case, then put up some sell windows right here. There could be a possible market flow entry right here for a sell at the 411 mark. Put a pending order right there. It's got 23 seconds left on it. So I'll watch it right here. This one's for a 15. Doesn't look like it's going to fill. I'm going to cancel it right now. Let's see, 5, 4, 3, canceling. No entry right there.
Order
So I got to make a
canceled.
decision here. It's tough because I don't want to switch to a bigger TP stop loss, but I also don't want to keep a too tight TP stop loss. There just isn't any direction and the volatility isn't very consistent. So I'm gonna have to play by ear, guys. So I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna shift it to 30-30, but I mean, as of now, it looks like for the most part, it just goes back to a 15-15. The problem with this here is like, and the problem here as well is that we don't have a direction. You can see right here, I was looking for a sell for price to come back down, but then now price is just coming right back up. So it's kind of tricky right now. It's tricky in a lot of different aspects. So it's tricky because there's no direction, and then it's even more tricky because there's no consistency with regards to volatility. We'll have like a couple small candles and we'll have a big candle and a couple small candles and maybe one more big candle. So I have to make a decision whether I want to stick to a 15-15, 30-30. Then I also need to make a decision whether I want to take buys or sells here because there's just no direction. So I might have to just wait this out. I don't think I'm going to be taking any entries around this middle area right here. This is just not a good area to trade in. I might have to just wait for price to actually push out of this area. And then same with this down here. Because this area is just not a good area to trade in. I mean, it's tempting, right? It's tempting because you want to catch that stride to the downside. And then also it's tempting on the other side because you want to catch a stride to the upside. You see all the liquidity sitting up here, but there's just not enough power behind it to, I mean, really take anything. I'm looking at the level 2 right now. Level 2 is basically pretty much balanced. There's more sell orders though, so this thing might come right back down. Sadie said, I do not understand why price is not taking all the stop losses above. I know, I'm thinking the same thing, Sadie, because we have all of this liquidity sitting up here. It's like, why won't price just push up and knock out all of these stop losses? I think eventually it will, but as of now, price is kind of just going back and forth. So we got this right here. Let's mark up some structure for you guys. So we got the range, and then we have a smaller consolidation in between right here. So we got this bigger range, and then we have a smaller consolidation happening right here. I would just be careful if you guys are looking for any entries. This is not a good time to take any entries. There was a V1 variation that came up right here. This is a V1 pattern reversal, so this thing might swing all the way back up. So now that we have this V1 pattern right here, for the most part, banking on this to climb up and pretty much knock out liquidity. It's one thing I'd be looking for. But if it establishes a new high here, probably not. Let's see. CJ said, I'm waiting until we get away from sessions. Those two sessions close together, fighting to manipulate price. Yeah, and I agree with you too, CJ, 100%. Price is in between the Asia high and the London high right here. It's having trouble getting past it. You can see here price is now starting to move a little bit bullish, like I kind of anticipated, because we did have the reversal pattern right here. But we do have a new high right here. So if this high gets established, probably not going to push up any higher. This could also be setting up for a breakout V3 continuation. So there is a possible breakout V3 continuation setting up right here into liquidity. If anybody's looking to take that, we got 45 seconds left on this candle. This was a levels entry right here. Price came back, retested the levels, previous news price. There's just not enough volatility behind it. Like I know price wants to come up and knock out all this liquidity up here, but there's just not enough volatility behind it. Possible breakout V3 continuation. See if I can maybe get into this with you guys. No, I'm not going to take it. It already hit liquidity right there. It's kind of tempted to take it, but because it tapped liquidity before it, there it goes, blast right through. So it's finally knocking these out right there. So we got liquidity, breakout V3 continuation running through with it as well. There you go, full TP right there if you guys caught it. I should have got it with you guys. I was tempted to get into it, but because of the this initial candle right here, I just didn't really feel it. Because I was hoping this thing would like swoop up and then stop like right there and then get up, but it triggered it, and I was worried it was going to fake out right there. But there we go. As price comes up and pushes through the liquidity over here. So I'm going to clean up this first level of liquidity. The second level of liquidity right there is still pushing through. I'll look for the retracement for my opportunity for entry. So I'm going to look for the retracement right here and continuation back up to blast through the next levels of liquidity there. Yeah, so the volatility here is very low, guys. I'm just going to keep it at 15.15 right now. The 30.30 is not really ideal with the lower market conditions. Now, it's been a tricky week so far. It's kind of annoying. I like the consistency of like just smooth markets. This whole week's kind of been all over the place. Some days are super volatile. Some days are kind of flat. It's kind of just all over the place. All right, so we got the liquidity right there. Second level of liquidity right here got hit already, full TP. I'm gonna clean that up right there. So a lot of the liquidities here are getting hit, guys, as you guys can see. All the liquidity that I marked up from this morning from below got hit. Liquidity from above got hit. And we'll continue to see where this goes. I just gotta stay patient. I mean, everybody just got to stay patient, honestly. That's really, that's the name of the game. It's really staying patient, waiting for your setups. If you guys want to take liquidity, there's a bunch of liquidity entries here. I don't typically take liquidity, so I'm not going to take one here today just because I'm going to stick to my market flow entries because that's typically what I'm used to taking. Yeah, exactly. Sadie said no FOMO anymore, please. Yeah, that's really what it is, guys. The FOMO will really kill you. Who were making like some massive profits last week and the week before, and then they just ended up trading on tilt one day and they blew all their accounts. They had like 20 PA accounts and they blew pretty much all of them. That's just typically what happens. So just understand what your trading style is, what strategy you guys want to apply, and just stick to that. You don't have to toss it up. Like for example, here there's a bunch of liquidity, and I know it's tempting to take, but if you don't normally take liquidity, there's no reason for you to just hop in and take some random liquidity entries. So liquidity here is done. Pretty much all four levels here got hit. So if you guys took any of the liquidity entries there, Four back-to-back wins right there, and then the liquidity down below, there's four wins down here as well. So basically four liquidity entries that hit today. And we'll keep looking for another entry here. So still nothing here for me to take. 6:57, looks like I'm gonna have to trade after 7 o'clock. I typically don't like to trade after 7, but this market this week is requiring that I trade after 7. Volatility is just kind of spotty. There's not like one area of volatility. There was some volatility here on open, but it just wasn't consistent and it wasn't directional. Now that we have a directional push right here, we can have some opportunities for entry, of course. So if price pushes up higher, the next target is going to be the New York high right here. And then if it pushes up even higher from there, we have liquidity sitting up here, all these blue lines. So let's keep that in mind. A lot of stuff here to look out for. Say this is possible MPS. Yeah, there could be a possible MPS here as well if it pulls back. The MPS could line up with see the levels they already got hit. Let's see. Yeah, the MPS could probably happen right here on the 50 mark, which should be the levels if it ever pulls back to that point. It's not looking like it's still climbing up higher. All right, so let's see what we got here. So we got price climbing up to the target. The target again is going to be the sessions right there. Looking for a retracement. 7 o'clock. Looks like price is going to hit the target right now. So it climbs up higher. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so price is broken out of the range here. I'll draw a new range once we have one established. Right now, price obviously above the range. Broke out of it, climbed up higher, and it continues to climb up here. There we go. Target got hit. So if you guys roll that up to the sessions, solid work. So you basically could have rode this breakout V3 continuation all the way up. Yeah, exactly the same setup, Sadie. There's a breakout V3 continuation right there. This thing could have been rode all the way back up to the next sessions. That's the power of the breakout V3 continuations. And they push out pretty far if you want to hold on to them for that long. Typically, I would say on average about 100 points. There was another one right here that happened pre-market. 100 points too. It's kind of got me thinking now. So like now that that happened and I noticed that you can probably take a low risk breakout V3 continuation. Whenever you guys see those patterns, you can pretty much hold them for like maybe a 20-point stop loss and a 100-point TP. That's going to give you a 5R. That's like a 5 to 1 to 5 risk reward. That's actually a pretty good idea now that we've kind of noticed it a lot more. Because the 100 points is the threshold. So if you want to have a tight stop loss, I mean, you can just have, or you can just have your stop loss wherever the 20 points might be a little too tight. So maybe like 40. That's still like a 3R. 1 to 3 move. All right, we got price pulling down right here. I don't think there's going to be any entry here yet because it might be too close to the sessions if a market flow does come up here. So I might have to wait for it to pull back a little further. But we'll see. Again, this is the reason why we don't trade at the sessions because this is where manipulation tends to happen. Yeah, price swings back up right here. It's not going to work because it's going to have to cut back through the sessions. I would need price to pull back a little further and then swing back up. So maybe on the next candle, there could be a possible market flow. $67. So price is coming down right there. I'll just put a pending order as it comes down a little further. I'll put my pending order just waiting there in case it swings back up.
Order submitted.
So I got my pending order right here for a market flow entry. I'll watch it. It has about 30 seconds left on it. Obviously it hasn't filled yet. It's probably not going to fill as it drops down even further. It's got 10 seconds left on it. And I'm going to cancel it. No fill.
Order canceled.
So order got canceled right there. 45. This candle has about 28 seconds left on it. Another pending order right there just in case.
Order submitted.
It's got 20 seconds left on it, so I'm probably going to cancel it soon. It's probably not going to fill. I'll also have to wait for it to swing back up. Let's see. I'm going to cancel it. No order. Didn't fill.
Order canceled.
So I think as of now, I'm not going to look for any more entries right here. I'm going to look for price to swing back up. So price is already swinging down right here. I'm going to look for it to swing back up, come back down, and then go back up from there. That's where I'm going to look for my entry. So I need to have a confirmation that price is swinging back up. Right now, there's no confirmation for that. I don't want to take a trade too low down here. Because you're basically at that point, when you're trading that low, you're trying to catch the reversal. And the reversals typically don't play out very well unless you have a V1 pattern there. So if I have a V1 variation pattern or a CV pattern down here, then okay, great. I'll look for that to swing back up. Right now, we just don't have that. So just got to be smart about it. So I'm gonna look for this here to swing back up before I start looking for any more entries. Still thinking whether I want to switch back to 30-30 or stick to 15-15. The candles here are so small, so I don't think I really want to switch to the 30-30. The 30-30 is a good idea, but the problem with it is that if you end up being caught in a slow market, you're going to get stuck with this 30-30 for a long time. Like you'll be holding on to that position for, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, it's too tricky. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to hold on to anything for that long. All right, so I'm going to be looking for a possible market flow entry on this next candle. If this pushes up a little bit higher, it's probably going to happen really fast, guys. So you guys have to pay attention to the entry here. So you might get a small pullback and then it might swing right back up. So I'll be watching for the entry right here. Pulls back at all and comes back up. Not enough. Needs to farther pull back a little more. It's got 30 seconds left on it. Volatility is really low on this candle. Might happen on the next one if it doesn't happen on this one. All right, so not enough retracement there. There needs to be a bit more of a retracement on this. So it's probably going to happen on this next candle here. It swings up, swings down, swings back up. Put my pending order right here. Oh, fuck, it filled it again. Filled it at horrible entry, guys. So you guys can see over here. I don't know if anybody got into this, but it filled it at really bad entry up here. I'm probably gonna have to make some adjustments here for the TP. Or just manually close it out as it pushes through. So let's see if it pushes through from here. Did it even pull me out of profit? All right, so full TP right there, guys.
Order filled.
There you go. Full TP on that right there. It got me in a horrible entry, like I said, but it played through. So I'm back at break even for the day. Not great, but it's all good. All right. So I'll be looking for another entry here. Same thing. So we are at break even for the day. One loss over here, one win over here. And we'll continue on with the session. Volatility here is just too low now. So I'm glad I didn't switch to the 30-30. Again, this is a reason why I didn't want to switch to the 30-30 because you guys can see how, I mean, it's pretty much flat now at this point. This is typically what happens after 7 o'clock. This is why I try to finish my trading by 7. But it doesn't always go as planned. All right, so we have another possible opportunity here for a market flow. All right, so this actually gave me a little bit of a better entry. Slide this up a little higher. Full TP on that right there.
Order filled.
All right, so we're back up in profits for the day. One net win for the day, guys. So we catch one more. All right, so let's see what we got here. The volatility is it's a little spotty, like I said. Gotta follow this and really watch it because these entries happen super quick. So again, right here, if this swings down, swings back up, possible market flow entry. Gotta swing down a bit harder. A little bit harder. It's not there yet. All right, I'll put my pending order right there. Swings back up.
Order submitted.
It's got 18 seconds on the candle, so I'll probably cancel it if it doesn't fill. We've got 10 seconds left on the candle. This isn't going to fill. I'm going to cancel it. All right. Wait for the next one. All right, I would like this sell signal to come up. The sell signal would be ideal because then we'll have a pending buy signal for the next one. All right, guys. So currently, right now, we're currently at one win profit for the day. One loss, one win, and see if we can lock in one more. I need this to push up a little bit more. It needs to be above the pivot. So it's not going to happen on this next candle, maybe on the following one. Probably another pending sell signal here. There we go, pending sell signal. Ideally, I'd want it to be an invalid signal like that. But it doesn't really matter. It could be either one. Oh man, this market is like it's like a cat and mouse game. That's what it feels like. For the most part, it feels like a cat and mouse game right now. Because you're kind of just waiting for, these opportunities to come up. And the opportunities happen so fast. So it's like you got to be fast enough. You got to be fast enough. You got to be paying attention. You just got to be on your top game when you guys are trading these types of markets. It's weird because there's just no consistency this week. Like last week, I thought NFP was going to be super consistent. It wasn't consistent at all. It was actually all over the place. And then this week is even worse because we have that crazy volatility that happened on Monday. We had it again yesterday. And then today, it's like there may be like one or two candles that are super volatile and then they just go flat, which is kind of annoying because, well, it's annoying if you get caught in the sideways move. So for example, if you were in a position right here, I'd be stressed out because the market's not really doing anything. I'd rather it hit my TP or my stop loss right away, and then I'd be out of the market, not stressed out, rather than having to hold on to a position. Like for example, if you're entering a position here with a 30-30, I mean, you'd be hanging out for like a full minute, just waiting for it to do something. I'm not going to take any entries here, guys. I'm looking for price to swing back up. So I have it down here, looking for it to swing above the pivots, continue up higher. Otherwise, I mean, if I don't have any more entries for today, I'm kind of okay because we're in profit for the day. So that's what's key. The key thing is that we're in profit for the day. All right, wait for this to swing up a little bit higher. All right, looking for this. Yeah, I want that sell signal to come up. Yeah, I know, right? Rashida said that sell signal just doesn't want to close. I know. I want that sell signal to close because now once we have that sell signal, we can start looking for some buy signals, right? That's the key thing because we're looking for buys here. So I mean, preferably I'd rather have that sell signal come up, confirm the retracement, and then we could look for the continuation there. Probably another breakout V3 continuation if that happens. All right, so there's a possible entry right here for market flow setting up, guys. Again, just gotta pay attention to the movement here. That 555. Got my pending order waiting right there.
Order submitted.
Hasn't filled yet. So I'm not in the position yet, still pending right there. We've got 18 seconds left on this candle. Probably going to cancel it soon. And I'm going to cancel it. It's not going to fill.
Order canceled.
Order is canceled. So ideally, again, guys, I want the sell signal to come up. I might even just wait for the sell signal to come up before I start looking for any more entries here. Let's see, Oscar said his trading view is not working for him. Is it your chart's not working, Oscar, or you just can't enter trades on trading view? It's working for me. I'm not sure if anybody else is having any issues here with trading view. Okay, perfect. Fixed it. Sometimes you just got to refresh it. If you refresh it, it usually fixes it. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's probably the connection issue. All right, guys. So again, I'm not looking to take any entries here yet. I'm looking for price to swing up, swing back down, come back above. Ideally, I want the sell signal to close. So it looks like we're finally going to get it here. Please close. This will confirm the retracement. And it did not close. I want that to close because, so guys, you guys know how my momentum signals work, right? So if we're trading bullish, it's going to show continuation. If we're in a bullish trend and we have an opposite signal, the opposite signal over here will produce, it'll basically produce a retracement, like a confirmation of retracement. So for example, here, see how the trend is still bullish? If this here closes with the sell signal, this is going to confirm retracement. And then now we can start looking for the continuation back up. Because the thing is, price has been trying to retrace since up here, right? It's been trying to retrace from here, but just hasn't had any luck because it keeps coming back up. So like retraces a little bit, retraces back up, or corrects back up, retraces a little bit, corrects back up. And then right here, it just keeps trying to retrace. But until you get that sell signal, it's not really going to be confirmed. Let's see, Kevin said, personally, I don't like taking market flows after pivot 1 and 2 cross. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Kevin, 100%. Once they cross, it starts to indicate that the trend is attempting to shift, right? So I agree with you 100%. That's probably something that we should look at when we take these entries. Let me take a look at the level 2 data. So level 2 data is showing a lot of sell entries kind of stacking up right now. So I think this thing might come down a little further. We might have a reversal at this point. I mean, at this point, a market flow for a sell might even look good. But the trend hasn't shifted yet, so I'm not really looking to take anything like that, at least not yet. All right, so let's see what's going on here. That sell signal has still not closed. I'm shocked. Well, I'm not really shocked. This has happened before. If you guys remembered in the past, we've waited for these signals to come up, and it's been like, let's see. So from this previous signal to here, it's been about 30 minutes. But we've waited an entire session one time where the signal just kept pending, throughout the entire session. It went on for about an hour and a half, and it never closed until, after 8 o'clock. So not super surprised, but yeah, it kind of hinders on our analysis here because I want to take some buys, but I also want the retracement to confirm because I want price to be done retracing before I start chasing these pushes back to the upside. All right, let's see. I'm looking for the same pattern again, guys. Looking for price to break above the pivots, retest, continue up higher. All right, we got some liquidity sitting around these areas now. Whenever I see the liquidity come up, guys, I'm just going to mark them up. You'll see them as blue lines, of course. If you guys are not familiar with that, I mark the liquidity at the higher highs and the lower lows. So using my high-low indicator over here, you can see I have a lower low, higher high, lower low. That's where I have the liquidity sitting. So what this means for you guys is if price climbs up higher, the target price point is going to be up here, right? If price climbs down lower, the target price point is going to be right here. And the next target price point is going to be opening price right here. So we got targets on both sides. We got targets up here. We got targets right here. It just depends on where price goes. So like I said yesterday, and I say pretty much every day, you guys should always have multiple analysis, right? Have analysis for a buy, have analysis for a sell, just in case your first analysis doesn't work out. It's always it's always good to be well-rounded with trading. It's not going to hurt you to be well-rounded. I was waiting for this market flow right here, but it never pulled back down far enough. Let's see, we got 48 seconds left on this here. Let it retrace down a little further. It's at the 520 mark. No, I'm not going to go with this one. It's a little too late to enter. I'll look for it to push up a bit higher. Again, ideally, I would rather have it push up a bit more higher and then have it retrace down. I think that'd be best case scenario because I don't want to trade within this middle area where the pivots are currently at. I also would like to have the green pivot on top of the blue one. I think that might be another criteria to look out for as well. Might be looking for that. So if you guys took this here on that candle, it looks like it pushed right through to TP already. Obviously, I wasn't ready to take that there. This one could work if it comes down far enough. All right, so I'll put my pending order right there.
Order
And I will
submitted.
watch it. It has 41 seconds left on it, so it's got some time. Hasn't filled yet. Let's see, 20 seconds left. $15 seconds. Probably gonna cancel it right now, guys. 10 seconds, and I will be canceling it. No fill. Price never came back up. This market is frustrating. It's not really doing much. So the volatility here is pretty low. We have news over here at 7:30, which is going to be gas stock change. So we got gasoline stock change, oil stock change right here, 7:30. Yeah, as we get closer and closer to that gas stock change, I'm not going to take any more trades. As you guys know, I got screwed about last month. I took a trade here at gas stocks. I'm like, oh, this never does anything. Like it never really moves. And then what happened when the gas stock change came out? Complete opposite. It dumped super heavy. So I'm not going to mess with that there. If you guys want to take more trades, there's a possible market flow that's setting up right here. Hasn't filled yet, but possibly. Let's see. Sadie said, thanks, Sean, for the market flow. See you tomorrow. Definitely, Sadie. We'll see you back here then. I think it's a good call to just wrap it up. If you guys don't have to trade, I mean, feel free to wrap it up. I'll keep looking for entries here, though. I'm going to see if the markets continue to. Let's see if the sell signal actually closes. And I think that's what I'm more concerned with. Concerned with the sell signal closing because the sell signal will finally establish the retracement. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, definitely, Sadie. See if anything happens after it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty flat from now until 8. Maybe some news movement, but then flatten out, of course. All right, so I'm looking at current price right now. The range is between 450 and 600. So let me adjust this real quick. So the range is between 450 and 600 now. So this is the lower range and this is the upper range, as you guys can see. Oh my gosh, the sell signal still hasn't closed yet. You guys see that? That's crazy. It's been going, well, I keep saying it's crazy, but it's really not crazy. It's just crazy because we've been following it since it was up here. If you guys remember, price was coming down here and we had a sell signal on this candle at 7:02. So it's been over 20 minutes. Like almost every red candle that comes up with the sell signal, but doesn't actually close. So we had a sell signal here, here, here. Price came back up. We even had sell signals on the green candles that were pending. But yeah, so prices came down from this upper area to here, about 130 points. Still hasn't had enough volatility to actually close. Let's see if we actually get it on this one. Looks like it's finally going to close on this one. So this could mean one of two things. Never mind, I take that back. It looks like it was going to, and it didn't have enough but it did hit the target. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, I said if price comes down, the target's going to be here as the lower low, which is liquidity. I'm going to clean that up now because it's been taken. The next target's going to be right here, opening price. So price is currently sitting over here at these news candles over here, or these news prices. This is setting up for a V1 variation pattern. So you're getting a double body rejection down here with the sell signal, which is invalid. This is a really good sign. Okay, never mind. If it closes, this is going to be a really good sign because this is going to confirm a reversal pattern. We also have a confirmation of retracement. So this might be the bottom, and then price might swing back up. So basically faked out right here at the lower low. Little fake out right there. And now it's going to swing back up for reversal. Hopefully, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Perfect. So I did exactly what I wanted. Double body rejection, V1 variation pattern. This is a reversal. We have the sell signal here that confirmed the retracement. And we'll see. So there's one of two things that are going to happen here. Either this is going to climb up and this is going to continue to the upside, or this is going to drop from where it's currently at and it's going to do a complete reversal to the downside. So this is another key thing too. Whenever you guys see these V1 variation patterns, it can mean one of two things. It's either going to be a reversal or it's going to be a fake out and continuation to the downside. This is why I wanted the sell signal here, because the sell signal is going to signify whether it's going to be done retracing or whether it's going to reverse. So now that we have this here, there's two things to look out for. Look out for the continuation to the downside, or look for the reversal back to the upside. So key thing to look out for here would be the opening price. I would look for a break and retest of opening price and continuation down. We have targets down here for liquidity. That's going to be one. The second thing to look out for here would be breakout above and push up to this liquidity. So there's just two targets on opposite sides. We have liquidity sitting up here and we have liquidity sitting down here. So we're in a good place here because I think price is going to consolidate around this area before it breaks out. And then once it breaks out, you know what to look out for. So this will probably go sideways for a bit. It's going to lure in some sellers and some buyers. You know, this is typically what the market does. It tries to trick people. And it's trying to trick the retail trader right now. So it's trying to lure in some sellers, but it's also trying to lure in some buyers. Like what I'm looking for here, my V1 pattern, that isn't exactly, it's not something new, right? I'm sure other people have different ways of identifying reversals that line up with my way, but my way is just easier because I created my indicators here to identify higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, and higher lows. So it's just easier to see because I have my tools on the chart. But, you know, identifying reversals is nothing new. People have been doing it since day one. It's just I found an easier way to do it. So we got gas stock change right here at 7:30, guys. Mark that up. Color that pink. Take that off. Gas stock was positive for the day. So we had positive gas stock, positive oil stock. And okay, this is what I'm gonna do right now. Since we're just chilling here and waiting, I'm going to mark up the trades for the day. So this loss was at 634. Put this over here. $634, 15 points. I don't know if anybody took that trade with me, but I'm going to count it anyways. You know, I want to be 100% transparent with you guys. If I'm taking the trade, I'm going to count it, even if it was a dumb mistake that I made. It's the only way to get better. You got to own up to your mistakes. 708. Yeah, like even if nobody took it, it is what it is. I make mistakes and I just got to own up to it, or else I'll just keep sweeping it under the rug and it's just going to be something that I'm going to keep making in the future. So this one came up at 708. And the next one happened right here at 710. Yeah, and that's something that I talked about with, a couple other people yesterday. Like you just have to realize that you're making mistakes. Like if you start to trade on tilt and you blow your accounts and you try to blame someone else or somebody or something else, like if you want to blame the markets or if you want to blame Apex or if you want to blame me, it's not going to help you because you're just going to keep making that same mistake. You're going to think you didn't do anything wrong. And it's just not a good cycle to be in. It's a cycle of I forgot the word. It's basically a cycle like where you don't want to take the blame for anything, where you kind of look for everything else to blame except yourself. And then you just end up making the same mistakes and then just look for other things to blame. Yeah, denial. Thanks, CJ. I don't know why I couldn't think of that, think of that word. But yeah, it's a cycle of denial, right? You guys make mistakes trading. Uh Adam said my XG. Touche, Adam. But yeah, like it's really denial, guys. Like when you guys make mistakes trading, or if you guys blow an account, or if you guys like do something that you shouldn't have. Like like I was talking to Shivam yesterday. You guys saw Shivam. He had like so many accounts. He had like 15 PA accounts at 300K. He was killing it. If you guys saw him in the profits, he was killing it. So we got some profits here from Kevin. Well, let me just check out Shivam real quick. This is not to call out Shivam, but this is just to show you guys because he was being real with himself. He saw me yesterday at the gym and he told me like, dude, I blew all my accounts in one trade. But Shivam was killing it. He was getting like 300K accounts like almost every day. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, here we go. So he locked in, I think like 30K right here. He had all these PA accounts. He was doing well every day for like 3 days straight. He was making like 1,000, 2,000 per account. And then one day he told himself like he made profit and then he was like, he wanted to make like another 500 bucks. So he's like, I'm gonna make another 500 bucks. So he goes to lunch, he comes back home, the charts are crazy. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna trade this. What does he do? He ends up going onto the chart, takes one trade, blows all of his accounts. It's just crazy like that. When he told himself he wasn't gonna trade, he stepped away from the computer, but he still went back to the computer, took the trade that he knew he wasn't supposed to take, and then he blew 15 PA accounts. He had so much profit on those accounts too, but because of the trailing drawdown, he pretty much blew it. He just over leveraged himself out. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like it's just it's a real life example there. I'm pretty sure it's happened to a lot of you guys where you guys say you're done trading, you come back to the computer and you're like, this looks good. You take it and then you just start revenge trading your way down until you blow your account. When you're done, guys. Just keep that in mind, don't try to overdo it. So there's nothing going on here, man. This market sucks. It is going sideways right here. There's like no volatility. We're pretty much back to normal market conditions, guys. This is a normal market as we're kind of dealing with for the past couple of weeks. It's summer market, so this isn't something, there's nothing wrong with this. This is how the market is supposed to move during the summer. It's just crazy because you go from Monday where everything's moving like 100 candles per or 100 points per candle, and then you go to yesterday where it's still moving pretty heavy, and then today it's just back to slow market. So I think the market's going to be like this for the next couple weeks, guys. Later until as we go into September, as we go full into fall mode, the markets may shift a little bit. It's not going to be a big difference to you guys because I will be analyzing the markets for you. So you guys aren't going to be in the dark. I'll be able to adapt with the market pretty easily. And we'll see what else needs to be changed. I think the only thing that will be changed will be the TP stop loss, really. I think volatility will be a benefit for us. And the only thing that will really kind of shift a little bit will be the TP stop loss. Like if the market moves too volatile, we're probably not going to use a 15-15, of course. We'll probably use a 25-25, 30-30, maybe a 50-50 if the market moves very crazy. But we're getting closer and closer to elections. So you guys know that Kamala Harris is running for the Democrats. She now has a running mate. Personally, I don't think she's going to win. I don't want to be political at all, but personally, I don't think she's going to win. I think she picked a bad running mate, but it is what it is. Like I already did think she was going to win initially, but now that she picked a running mate, I think she for sure is not going to win, which will likely be good for the markets. If you guys ever traded when Trump was president, volatility was all over the place. It was nice. So I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. We're probably not going to see the increased volatility until next year, though, once everything's kind of changed. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there. Damn, Steven said Bitcoin went to 20,000. That is crazy. It's crazy because a lot of people they went super heavy on Bitcoin, which it's fine, right? Bitcoin is something that I think will be bullish long term, but that's crazy that you mentioned that. Let me look now because I'm kind of curious to see. Kind of curious to see, Steven, Bitcoin futures. Oh, it's not down to 20,000. Okay, so Steven didn't finish his statement. Steven said Bitcoin went down to 20,000 when Trump won. History will repeat itself. Well, that happened because of COVID, Stephen. It was mainly because of COVID. I don't think Trump had anything to do with Bitcoin coming down like that. Bitcoin actually went up once Trump became president, but there were other factors that were going on, like, throughout the world. Stephen said when he went to Bitcoin, it went up. Yeah, Stephen's a prophecy. We're gonna have to like listen to Stephen when you gotta tell him when to buy Bitcoin then, Stephen. Let's see. I'm still holding Bitcoin from like a while back, so I'm in profit on Bitcoin. Like I've been holding Bitcoin since like I mean basically since COVID. Not a lot of it, but yeah, still holding on to it. All right, so we got price swinging back up right here, guys. It's getting closer and closer to 8 o'clock. The trend is not necessarily bullish right now, so I'm not going to take any market flow entries for a buy. If anything, market flow entries might be here for a sell, actually. It's just not in the good area right now. So you guys can see all the news down here. Typically, if it's like one news event, it's fine. But when you got all these news events stacked up in one area, it kind of becomes like a session because you can see over here how price gets manipulated whenever it comes down to this area. So I wouldn't be surprised if, price comes down to this area and then swings back up. Or what you can look for here is also price to break below and come back down to the open. All right. So I got all of the structure here marked up. So we had the earlier range that was down here. It was between 300 and 450. Now it's between 450 and 600. It's basically just the opposite direction. So like right here, came down about 300 points and then it ranged. And then now it came up about 300 points. I mean, same thing, just the opposite direction. So let's see, we're starting to get a bit of a push to the upside right here. 740. I'll hang out for like another 5-10 minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'll answer whatever you guys need help with. Otherwise, I don't really see too much going on here. I'll hang out for like another 5-10 minutes, see if there's any opportunities for entry. I want to wait for the trend here to shift though. So I want the trend to actually shift and I want to push up and climb up higher. I don't really want to trade within this middle area right here where price is consolidating. So the consolidation is actually happening between, let's see, the 450 and the 500 mark. So it's a 50-point consolidation zone right here down the middle. I'm still one net win for the week, or two net wins actually for the week. So I'm not really looking to force anything here. All right. Not much going on here. So I'll just mark this up. It's going to be, oops, 500. All right, so I'll just take this off. So you guys can see where the consolidation is happening here on the clean chart. It's happening between these two price levels right here, the 500 and the 450. You don't really want to trade around this area. You also don't want to trade right outside it because you guys can see how these fake outs happen, right? Fake out right there, fake out down there. So you want to really see it push out of this area and climb higher. Because if you get in like anywhere right here, the odds of you getting faked out and coming back down are very likely. And the problem is there's no volatility, so I'm not really expecting that to happen right now. So still, I'm gonna have to just wrap this up soon. All right, let's see. We have a market flow entry here that came up, sort of. All right, we're starting to get a shift back up right here. So some volatility comes up. This could be a possible market flow entry at the 501, it looks like. But again, it is in a tricky spot. Let's see, I'll put a penny order right there.
Order filled.
All right, so it actually filled on my end. I don't know why it doesn't show over here. There it goes. So we got the market flow right there. It's pushing up. Volatility is just really low right now.
Order filled.
So the reason why I was kind of okay with this right here was because of the pivots right here. I started to see them shift. So I was like, okay, this is going to shift back to the upside. Price is pushing up right there. All right, I got stopped out in profit.
Order filled.
Slightly stopped out in profit right there. So we have 2 wins for the day. See, this is why I'm saying you got to pay attention to the market because I saw the pivots over here shift up. When I saw the green pivot shift above, I'm like, okay, this is not going to shift to the upside and it's going to push up. I was waiting for this to push up higher, but that's all good. It is what it is. I'll take my win and I'll wrap this up for the day. So 2 wins for the day. We're up 3 wins for the week. So, I mean, it's a pretty good week so far, guys. Pretty good week for the. My profits are not going to reflect that though, because like I said earlier, the trades kind of screwed me over on the first entry that we took because of my entry times. I got in like due to the spread, got some bad entries on the first ones. So I'm in profit, but and there's some slippage on like one of my Apex accounts for some reason. I mean, it's all good. I'll send you guys the profits here so far. So let me just take a screenshot of this. And I got eaten up with a lot of fees here too. That's another thing. I took what 4 trades today. So I got eaten up by like almost like 500 in fees, I think, or more than 500. So I didn't really make too much profit today, but it's okay. I'm in the green. So that's all that matters. Especially dealing with the crazy, crazy market like this. Okay, so here are my profits for the day. You guys can see, I don't know what happened with this account right here. This account basically, there was some sort of slippage. Like this one over here wasn't copying properly, but it's just a slight loss. So let me go here and just add this up for you guys real quick. So let's see. $105 times 19 plus 235 minus 140. All right, so 2,090 for the day. And then for the week so far, I'm currently up to 476 times 19 plus 231. Man, I got eaten up with fees so bad this week or today. A little annoying, but it's all good. I mean, I'm in profit for the day and for the week, so I can't really complain. Profit's profit. It's just annoying because I was up like I basically paid in fees today. That's literally all I paid. I paid in fees. I'm technically in the negative overall because not overall, but for the day because of the because I had more profit yesterday than I did today. I was at 10,000 yesterday. I'm now at 9,000. Like what the fuck? And I had two wins because of the fees that added up plus the losses. So it's all good. It's basically a break even day for me, minus fees. So I'm giving you guys a real raw data here, guys, because I'm showing you guys my profits every day. You guys can see like I can make one trade and be very good, or I can make four trades and be in the loss still because of fees and all that stuff that add up. Because you can see my realized over here, I'm basically at break even. And then this one over here got screwed for some reason. But I mean, it's all good, part of the game. And you just got to understand that that is the market. You can make wins and still have to pay an asshole in fees, which it's all good. So let me see. We have some more team profits here. We've got Johnny. Johnny locked in, let's see, 180 on his first account, 1,195 on his second, 1,150 on his third, for a total profit of, let's see, well over 2,500 for the day. Nice work, Johnny. All wins. It's a great profits right there from Johnny. And then again, over here from Kevin. Kevin locked 492 on his first account, 284 on his second, 71 on his third, for a total profit of 847. Nice work, Kevin. All wins. And that's about it for right now. Again, my profits for the day locked in 2,090, and I locked in 9,745 for the week so far. So decent week for like what we've dealt with Monday, Tuesday, today, Wednesday. Tomorrow we have some news. So let's see. We have initial jobless claims 4-week average, continuing jobless claims pre-market at 5:30. So we're gonna have some volatility then. And then we have some wholesale inventories, low impact, gas stock change, low impact throughout the day. And then Friday is pretty much a flat day, not very much news at all. So we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow we just have a normal market. We can take our entries and just be done with it by 7. If not, I'll hang out till like about 8, like we did today. And I'll try to look for some more opportunities for entry. But today we're up 2 wins, 2 wins, 1 loss, I believe, right? 3 wins actually. So 3 wins. This was a partial for me, of course, because of my entry time or entry point. So 3 wins right here and 1 loss. So today's actually a really good day, guys. We only had 1 loss here. That was my mistake. I don't think anybody took that with me, but I'm going to count it anyways because I want to be transparent with you guys. This is part of the market. You make mistakes, you take losses. I'm still going to count them, even though nobody else took it. We have 3 market flow entries that came up. This one right here. This one right here. And this one right here that we just took. So decent day. We had buys and sells today. Worked out in our favor for the most part. And I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time, to do the same thing over and over again as we've been doing. Hopefully the market will work more in our favor tomorrow as the volatility starts to kind of smoothen out as it did for Monday and Tuesday. And we can catch some smoother moves. There's another market flow entry that just came up right here, guys. I'm not going to take it, of course. It's too late. I'm pretty much done for the day. But yeah, there's a market flow entry that's running right there. It's probably going to hit TP. And I think that's about it. So if you guys are in that position, good luck to you guys. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, there you go, full TP. Fuck me. Should have just taken that, but it's all good. That would have brought me back into profit all around, but it's all part of the game, guys. So I'll see you guys here tomorrow. If you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise,